What does pumpkin pie and a hug have in common? Any idea? Therapy. Pumpkin pie therapy and hug therapy. Takes me to a story that occurred 2 years ago on Thanksgiving. I like to volunteer on Thanksgiving Day. I like to serve the homeless. So I called my friend Kathy and I said, please join me. She said, where are we going? I gave her the address. She said, well, what should I expect? What should I do? And I said, oh, just show up. I'll tell you when you get there. So I had done some thinking ahead of time and I thought, how can I make an impact on a room full of homeless people? So I walked around, I gathered a whole lot of stuffed animals that I'd had. They'd been in boxes for years. I pulled them out, they were in mint condition. And I thought, very often when I'm driving down the road, I see homeless people on the side of the road. Some of them have animals and they hug the animals, they hold them tight. And I think many of them are just very, very lonely souls. I'm not sure if these are going to be useful, but I'm going to take them along. So I got there, gave them to the folks, and I said, they said, how do you want us to distribute them? And I said, I don't know, whatever works. If you see somebody who needs one, give them one. The other thing I did was I took some $5 gift cards. I went in and got some from local grocery stores or drugstores and so on. I wanted $5 because I didn't want to give somebody who was homeless and maybe had a drinking problem. I didn't want them to buy alcohol, but I wanted them to be able to buy some food. I also bought some from McDonald's. But anything I could do that would make it easy. Well, I got there early and they broke us into teams. My friend Kathy hadn't showed yet. So I volunteered her for the pie. So our job was to cut the pie, put whipped cream on it, and serve the pie to the homeless. So I'm having a great time because I love people. I love connecting with folks. So make a long story short, what happened was the whipped cream didn't arrive on time. So the power to be said, you can't serve the pie. Wait, you have to hold off on the pie until the whipped cream arrives. Well, I started watching a few people leaving who had had dessert. And I thought, that's crazy. It's Thanksgiving Day. You have to have dessert. So I started grabbing the pie that we'd been cutting for the last 40 minutes. And I walked up to people, introduced myself, was cheery, happy, friendly, asked about them, gave them the pie. One lady comes up to me and she says, oh, you can't do that. No, you can't serve the pie. I said, why not? She said, well, those are our instructions. The whipped cream hasn't arrived yet. I'm like, are the whipped cream police going to arrest me? It isn't going to happen. I'm not letting people leave. I wanted to show up as a leader. I wanted to show up and make sure that not one person left that place that day without having some pie. So about 15, 20 minutes goes by, and this lady comes over to me and she said, Carol, she said, I don't know what it is you're doing that's so different, but she said, everybody wants your pie. They won't take my pie. And I said, are you chatting with people? Do you introduce yourself? Do you ask about them? Do you ask their name? Do you make them feel special? She said, no, I just hand them pie. I said, that's what's different. She said, I've been watching you for the last 5 minutes. She said, since the whipped cream arrived. She said, you've got one in each hand and you're layering it on their pie this high. And I said, why not? When's the next time they're going to get whipped cream on their pie? These people are having a tough time eating from day to day. If I can make them smile, if I can bring joy to their life, then why not? I'm not waiting for the whipped cream police. I'm doing my own thing here. So she said, thank you. I said, it's about how you're being. It's not what you're doing. It's about how you're showing up for these folks. So I continue and I'm having a great time, but I can't find Kathy. And I'm searching. I'm looking all over, just kind of keeping an eye out for her because Kathy's never been here before. I don't know what's happened to her. A good 45 minutes goes by. And there I see Kathy. I run up to her and I said, where the heck have you been? Are you okay? She said, yeah, but I kind of stunk at cutting pie and serving pie. It just wasn't my thing. So I said, where did you go? She said, I noticed that so many of these people, it was like their soul had been ripped out of them. She said, I noticed that they needed a hug. So I positioned myself just outside, and as they left after their meal, I simply gave them a hug and thanked them for coming. You see, I had planned the day. I thought that I was behaving in an extraordinary manner. I was doing things differently than everybody else was. But it was a big lesson for me, because no matter how extraordinary we think we are, or how extraordinary we connect with people, we can always take it to another level.